It's Tuesday, October 13th, and this is your day starter. This month in worship, we have been talking about our frame of reference, the perspective with which we see the world, and challenging ourselves to broaden our perspective or to see the world from another's frame of reference. When we look at the Gospels, the four narratives that tell the story of Jesus, we're tempted to think of them as not having a frame of reference, but as simply being histories that are recording Jesus' acts. In point of fact, the gospel writers themselves say that they are writing so that you, the reader, might come to believe. In other words, they have a frame of reference, a perspective they're trying to bring to you. As we look at our scripture for this week, which comes from the end of the 15th chapter of Luke, it's the story of the prodigal son, one of the best known of all Jesus' stories. It's important to think about the frame of reference in which Luke places it. As the chapter opens, we hear there's been some grumbling from some of the religious leaders about Jesus eating with sinners and being in relationship with them. Luke then has three stories happen in a row. It's tempting to believe that Jesus said them one after another, but in point of fact, they were probably said over a variety of time, but Luke thought they all had the same message. The first one is the story of the lost sheep, somebody losing one and going away from the 99 to get it because finding the lost is so important. The next story is about a woman who loses a valuable coin and sets aside everything else she's doing so she can sweep the house and find the coin. Again, the lost being found is so important. And then we get to the story of the prodigal son. And again, it's about the lost being found. But there's a difference between sheep and people, or a lost coin and people. The relationship about those inanimate objects, the coin or the animal, the sheep, are very straightforward, but human relationships are far more complex. Take the time to read the story of the prodigal son all the way to the end of the chapter, and you see that it's really the story of two sons. And as you read it, think about Luke's frame of reference and how it leads you to focus on just the one son who left home. And try and set aside his frame of reference and look at both sons. If you do, I think you'll come up with a very profound question for yourself. Which one was truly lost? I invite you to think about this as you read the scripture today.